Well, guys, what's going on? This is RJ Game News USA here, and I just finished watching WrestleMania 41 Night 1 from Las Vegas. This is your review, reaction, post-show, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And I'm joined here by Scooter. Scooter, say hello.
Hey, what's up, guys?
I can tell you guys, Scooter had a really good night on his picks, and I did not. I went 2-4, and Scooter went 5-1. Scooter, you want to go ahead and take your victory lap?
Thank you.
Oh, man. All right, so before we get into the specifics on the card, overall, your thoughts on night one. What do you give it out of 10? You know, without getting into specific matches, just the overall vibe of the night and the overall score you'd give it.
I'll give it a 7. I was gonna give it a 6.5, but the main event pushed it. Now, you know what? I will give it a 6.5.
Yeah.
I will give it 6 stars, 6 out of 10. I'll give it 6 out of 10.
6?
Is that what you give it?
I got it at a 5. Because it did avoid complete and total disaster. Because that first half of the show was a complete and total disaster. Like on the level of like WrestleMania 11 possibly. Or WrestleMania 9. And the second half of the show, with some of the results and some of the stuff that happened that were a little more interesting, saved it from being a complete and total disaster. But a 5 out of 10 is still a failing show. It failed on so many levels. And we're going to get into it. So if you guys are new to the channel, please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you hadn't already. So let's start with the opener. Oh, man, this is so fucking bad. Like, this is so fucking bad. Gunther taps out to Jey Uso. I can't even believe those words are coming out of my fucking mouth. What do you have to say before I go on a rant?
Well, I mean, he deserved it.
Jey deserved a win?
No, Gunther he deserved tap out because he's a pussy.
Oh, man. I couldn't disagree more. Oh, my God, dude. They've done this to Gunther twice now, where he's lost to somebody that he's clearly better than. Sami Zayn or Jey Uso. They've already told this story twice. We've already seen it before. And
That's because he's a cuck.
oh, my God. Dude, Gunther needs to be treated better than this. Like, yes, he's been champion. And I'm going to go on a rant right here. He's been champion a lot. And he wins a lot. But to tap out to Jey Uso. What were they thinking? Literally, I could not have wrote a worse ending to the match. I figured it'd be a fucking fruit roll-up. I figured it would be some sort of kick him 3 times, spear him 5 times, jump on him 6 times, froggy leap, froggy fresh, I don't give a shit. A tap out on Gunther. Gunther, not a pass out, a fucking tap. He fucking tapped out. What the actual fuck were you thinking? WWE, Triple H, you all are fucking stupid. Not for one goddamn fucking second would I think that Jey Uso can make Gunther tap out. That's not real life. That's not real life. That's not the fucking reality here. You all live in a fucking fantasy. It's bullshit. Ugh.
I know what they was thinking. You want me to tell you what they was thinking?
What?
Yeet.
Look, I understood Jey Uso was probably going to win, even though I did pick Gunther like an idiot. But to win the way in which he won is fucking embarrassing to Gunther. It's embarrassing. It's insulting my intelligence. It made me want to shut off the fucking show.
Well, I mean, at this point, you could have, and then I could have just messaged and said, "Oh, it's main event time."
Woo. Like, to me, this is worse than booking Jinder Mahal to beat Randy Orton.
Oh, no, okay.
It is.
Now you've been smoking too much crack.
It's worse.
Now you're insulting my intelligence.
Ugh.
Well, fuck it. Well, let me guess. This is worse than the fucking Greek Khali.
Okay.
Fucking hell.
Alright, it's not that bad.
Okay, then.
But a tap out. It needed to be like a 1, 2, 3 kids sort of pin. Like on Scott Hall. Or whatever. Kevin Nash. No, Scott Hall. Was it on Scott Hall or Kevin Nash he did that too? Yeah, it needed to be the 1, 2, 3 kid style where it looked like he was eating his pussy out. You know how that looks so fucking... It looks so fucking hokey to watch the 1, 2, 3 kid.
Well, you have to remember that was like 1994.
I feel like we're back in 1994 with some of this fucking booking. Like, I'm surprised Triple H didn't roll his ass out there at his Hall of Fame induction, fucking dressed up like Hunter Hearst Helmsley, a British-looking aristocrat motherfucker-looking thing, and that's how he was going to roll out. I thought we were going straight back to 94.
Well, I mean, he was hogging up the spotlight enough.
I'm surprised Mr. fucking Freeze didn't show up in a match later on versus fucking Gigante America, whoever the fuck that it was.
Thank you!
Yeah.
Don't even fucking get me started on that.
We'll get to that in a minute. We will. Then next up, we had shit. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, New Day defeated the War Raiders. The crowd was fucking silent for this match.
And the crowd goes mild.
Yeah, we both had the New Day. You got anything to say about this match? Because I have nothing for this match.
No, I mean, we've seen it like 5 or 6 times before. I mean, New Day, they went, they turned heel, and ever since like the first week or two, it was great, and then afterwards they just. So it's like, oh, what can we do? Well, they haven't been champion for like 4 years, so I mean, War Raiders wasn't doing shit with the title anyways. So
I thought it was funny that Pat McAfee, when they were coming out, he said, "This is Raw is War Raiders," and then Michael Cole corrected him saying it was WrestleMania. And it reminded me that this match should have stayed on fucking Raw.
Well, I mean, to be honest, half of these matches should have been on Raw.
I mean, this had almost no WrestleMania feel to it at all. This felt so small, even compared to last year's WrestleMania for night 1. And that's why it's a 5 out of 10 from me, failing. But this match was a total flop. It wasn't even like it was an all-time banger tag team match.
Fuck no.
I mean, there was no way to get interested in that shit. And one thing I'm sick and tired of is all night long, whether it was the New Day or Charlotte Flair or anytime they mention John Cena, Roman Reigns, they always say, these are the greatest of all time. They're in the conversation for the greatest of all time. Who the fuck's having that conversation? I don't know a single person who would say the New Day is even in the conversation for greatest tag team of all time. Do you?
Well, a lot of people have said that.
Oh, come fuck on. When you have the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, even the Usos are out of the league of fucking New Day. New Day's like New Day's a trio. First of all, now they're just a fucking tag team. So I mean, there's no way in hell the New Day has currently constructed is even the same New Day that was before, or should be in any kind of GOAT conversation for a tag team titles. That's fucking stupid. I'm not even gonna justify a response.
No, not right now, no. But before, yes. Whenever it was a trio, yes. As you know, but yeah, right now, no.
Well,
yes, they're still they're good, they're good wrestlers. You know, they're entertaining, but yeah, they're not just those two together. No.
So, how long before Jey Uso's back with Jimmy, just like Kofi's back with Xavier Woods? Because, you know, Kofi Mania turned out so well, right?
I don't know. I look for this title reign, honestly, to only last a month or two.
Because, to me, the Yeet wave is the poor man's version of Kofi Mania, which was the poor man's version of the Yes Movement.
So, and that's pretty much why they did it. They're just going for what's hot.
They just had a moment. And you know what? They don't defend the titles enough. We saw so many title changes tonight. Is there a fucking rule in Triple H's WrestleMania that we can only have title changes during WrestleMania?
Well, did you see in Tiffany Stratton's? She's been champion for, what was it, 90-some days, like 94 days, and she's only defended it 3 times?
Yes, and we will get to Tiffany Stratton later. She was the only one who successfully defended her belt, surprisingly. But I guess she didn't meet her quota because every champion must have had the belt at least 250 days.
Well, I take that back. She was champion for 93 days. So technically, if you put that, equal that out, that is once a month.
Well, yes, but did Gunther even defend his belt the last 93 days before tonight?
He's been champion since SummerSlam of last year. He's defended it, I think. So SummerSlam last year, he's only defended it, I think, 3 or 4 times. Yeah,
and the thing is, I don't think he defended it a single time after the Royal Rumble or even right before the Royal Rumble.
No, he hasn't defended it since Royal Rumble.
So, I mean, these guys are just champions, like, all fucking year long and almost until WrestleMania. Like, it's getting ridiculous out there. We're only doing title changes during Mania. But anyway, that's a side tangent. Third match on the board. Who was it? See how forgettable this card was? Who was third?
That's the... was that...
No, we just did New Day. Was it Fall 2 in LA Knight?
Yes.
I thought there was something else. I cannot remember. Hold on. Let me look. I got my card up here.
No, it was Fall 2 in LA Knight.
I felt like that was the 4th match. No, it was Naomi and Jade Cargill.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, see how forgettable.
So, this was probably the best part of the first half of this show. But it still wasn't, to me, it wasn't all that cracked up to be. But Jade Cargill beat Naomi. I lost another fucking match. I feel like it was
you could have easily been right, because honestly, I felt like that Naomi was going to win because they was going to drag this on for a couple matches.
But here's where the problem lays, and this is what I need to realize going forward, is I want to try to think outside the box of the obvious, but clearly WWE likes to do 3 things at WrestleMania, and this has always been true, but it's just so obvious now. They end storylines, they change champions, and faces tend to win. So I should have seen it coming. This was the payoff of the Jade Cargill stuff with Naomi. But, I mean, to me, I feel like this should have been more of the middle of the story, not the end.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been the end because there's still a couple more things they can still do with this because they still have the thing with Bianca. You know, Bianca was in this too. And it wouldn't have surprised me if Bianca came out there and interfered and, you know, helped Naomi. But again, that wouldn't have made sense because Bianca still has her match tomorrow.
You know, it's really odd. Triple H is so unwilling to book heels to win. I mean, somewhat. There was obviously some heels that won tonight. But it's funny that he is so reluctant to book heels whenever he was like the first heel to really win the main event at WrestleMania as champion. And, you know, way back at WrestleMania 2000. And I think it's funny that he lacks the sort of creativity to really go with a heel. I mean, granted, he did do it with the last match on the card, which we'll talk about later. But I feel like Triple H's booking here was really milquetoast and vanilla for the most part, don't you think?
Yeah, and a lot of people's gonna say, "Oh well, he's cooking. Papa H is cooking. Just wait until tomorrow night. He's saving the best for last." Well, we'll see.
The last few years, we do know that every time they've had the night 1, night 2 stuff with Mania, usually night 1 was the better night and overall. And if that's the case this time, this will be a massive failure of a WrestleMania. I hope to God night 2 is better than night 1. But anyway, we'll move on to the U.S. title. We had Jacob Fatu defeating LA Knight to earn the title. This is an example of a heel winning after the faces took the first... No, New Day's a heel too. They kind of actually split between heels and faces, actually. So, actually, I'll take back what I said. They did split between heels and faces. But titles definitely did change a lot. This was one of them. Jacob Fatu defeating LA Knight. What are your thoughts?
Well, I honestly thought that this was going to kickstart a feud between Jacob and Solo. I figured Solo would come out and accidentally cost Jacob the title shot, but I mean, I guess they're saving that for, you know, maybe this upcoming week or so. Things will, tempers will rise, and I don't know, but we'll see.
This was your one loss tonight. This is only my second win and my last win of the night, but this was your one loss tonight. Was Fatu beating LA Knight?
It makes sense. I mean, Fatu, he's just like I told you the other day. He's gonna be a main eventer within the next year or so.
Yeah, it's just time to get a mid-card title. I mean, we already seen Uso go through the ringer here. Now he's world champion. So, I mean... I think, obviously, based on the results of tonight's main event, I think we already have an idea maybe who Jey Uso will be facing eventually. Maybe at SummerSlam. But we'll get into that later. So next up, we took this match off the books for our picks because Rey Mysterio got hurt. But it was Rey Fenix versus America, whatever the fuck his name is.
Just Chad Gable.
Well, I'm going to put on my American mask while we do this part of the review.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So it's on. The mask is back for those of you that missed it. I don't miss having this on my face, especially while having a full beard. That sucks. But people say this is Chad Gable. Is it?
Gracias!
So, I mean, he won. Chad Gable won. Was that the right move? Or I think you messaged me you were very upset that Rey Fenix lost.
Yeah, I mean, this is only his third or fourth match. I mean, and obviously we know that Papa H is more fond of his brother Penta because Penta hasn't lost a one-on-one match, and he's been in WWE for what now, like 3-4 months?
But, I mean, what was the alternative? Was Rey Fenix not even going to have a match then if Rey Mysterio wasn't hurt?
No, it was just a replacement. So that goes to show you right there that was going to prove that Rey Mysterio was going to lose.
Well, here's what I don't get. Why the fuck is Rey Fenix and Penta not like a tag team going for like tag team gold? And why is our tag team division such in shambles?
Well, Penta's been there 2.5, 3 months before Rey Fenix even got there.
Yeah, so maybe that could still happen. That maybe that's still in the cards.
Right, and obviously they put Rey Fenix with Rey Mysterio and his group because they're of the same kind.
I like whenever they brought Chad Gable out and they said, from the Gulf of America, because Trump renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. So, like, it pisses off the Mexicans. And so I thought that was funny. And then Michael Cole, like, fucking tried to save it and say, oh, no, actually, it isn't the Gulf of America. There was a few funny moments on commentary tonight. One of them was, I think Wade Barrett said something about putting some armor on his pecker.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was surprised to hear that.
Well, I don't know if you heard, but there was a couple times during the Charlotte and Tiffany match, Charlotte was saying fuck really loud, and they didn't bleep it out because of, like, some of the spots. Like, I guess it hurt or something. She said fuck.
Yeah, which, you know, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with swear words in wrestling. It doesn't bother me. But
but the thing is, it's stupid though. They can do stuff like that. Charlotte can call her, say bitch and stuff. But whenever Seth Rollins went to go put a sharpshooter on Punk went to flip him off and they bleeped it out. They went black.
Oh man. I guess because it's, I don't know, that's just, they need to not worry about bleeping it out, especially a fucking PLE premium live event, especially. But I thought, Chad Gable, he's entertaining. He's one hell of an athlete. I mean... Ooh, that backflip? Yeah. Oh my god.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Like, you wouldn't think of him being able to do something like that. I mean, he's athletic, but I mean, that though, you don't see nobody try that. I've never seen nobody do that before.
It needs to become like one of his like new setup moves or something.
That should be his finisher.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't book it that way, but it could be. Well, it could be a finisher. It's good. I like it, but in general, up to this point of WrestleMania, honest to God, this was a 2 out of 10 show. Up to this point. Like, almost 2/3 of the way through the show, this is borderline one of the worst WrestleManias ever. It was a 2 out of 10 show for me. After this, all the way up to the final 2 matches. The final 2 matches actually steered it more into a positive light for me, even though, I picked Charlotte to beat Tiffany Stratton, and I picked CM Punk, and I'm upset he lost the main event. The way in which things were done in these last 2 matches, I thought made it a little better. And let's talk about Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte. What are your thoughts on that? For the title.
It was better than what I thought it was going to be, honestly. I mean, it still was dry. There was still a lot of dull moments and this Charlotte being Charlotte, kind of, making her look, like that she just owns everybody and everything. But I mean, but it was a lot better than what I thought, and I'm just glad that Charlotte decided to put over Tiffy.
Well, it's not really her decision, but it is a good thing that happened. I think everybody breathed a sigh of relief when that happened, because a lot of people were thinking, and this is why I picked Charlotte to win, that Charlotte was just going to come on in and win another belt, because that's what she does. And for them to go with Tiffany Stratton was a positive sign that, hey, we heard you about this issue at least.
Well, and that goes to show that they have a little bit of belief in Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, they have just a little bit of, okay, on this issue here, we're going to give it to Tiffany. But I do think this should be followed up with a really hard heel Charlotte.
Well, that's the name of the next pay-per-view is Backlash. So with all the next matches for the next pay-per-view, it's going to be the Backlash from WrestleMania. So there's going to probably be rematches.
Which it's funny that we had all this time between between Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania, but now Backlash is in like 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Which is crazy. And they already have adjusted the night of WrestleMania for next year. So usually it was the first Saturday and Sunday of April, but sometimes that collided with the college basketball Final Four. So they moved it, not because of that necessarily, but they moved it 2 weeks later. But now it's bumped up right against the start of hockey playoffs and NBA playoffs and Easter weekend. So I think that was probably a mistake. I think they'll take a hit in the ratings for that. Next year's WrestleMania is going to move back 1 week. So it'll be the second weekend of April, which would bump up with the Masters, the biggest golf tournament in the world. But that tournament's usually over by the time WrestleMania starts. So I think that's the perfect spot to have the stage to itself that night. Both nights.
Right.
So I think that was a good adjustment I saw when they're going to have WrestleMania 42 in New Orleans. But yeah, it's a good thing Tiffany Stratton won, even though I got my pick wrong. I don't even think it's a bad thing Jey Uso beat Gunther. I just didn't like the way he beat him. And
yeah, it shouldn't have ended like that.
No, but clearly the next match is the reason it was the main event. It was the best match of the night. Would you agree?
Well, yeah. Even a blind man could have figured that
like
out.
this, but it was even more obviously the best match of the night than what we would have thought, because it was way above. Not because necessarily it was an all-time classic, but it was just way above everything else we got up to that point. CM Punk,
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. You had Seth Rollins. You called it. You said it'll be a heel turn with Heyman. I had Punk. I was wrong. All right. So what did you think of this match? Did you like how Heyman turned heel? What did you think?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of figured something like that. I mean, even, whenever Heyman came in or slid the chair to Punk, I was like, okay, this is what's going to happen. I thought, honestly, maybe he was going to slide it. I thought maybe he was going to slide it to Seth at first. And then, he gave it to Punk. He climbed in. And as soon as he gave it to him, he kind of walked him towards Roman. I was like, he's going to low blow him. Boom, that's what happened. And then, I was like, oh, this is going to be the same thing to Roman. Well, look what happened. Boom, low blow. So, I mean, look. I mean, I knew I had a feeling it was going to happen because, I mean, why not? Something new, right? Something fresh.
Something new! Something fresh! Paul Heyman gets another guy, right? Seth Rollins turns heel, which I think is needed for his character. So even though I'm a CM Punk guy, and I'm pissed off he lost in some ways, I could see Seth Rollins going into a feud now with Jey Uso, possibly, once he gets maybe some more matches versus Punk or Roman or something, right? Rollins goes into SummerSlam and he takes that belt off Jay. And now Seth Rollins is back as champion, has a heel with Paul Heyman at his side. That's what I think is going to happen. What do you think? You think that's going to happen?
Probably. I mean, does Seth need Heyman? No. Seth's fine by himself.
I think he needs Heyman. I actually think he does need Heyman.
But it adds something new to his character, so it's something new, something fresh.
See, I think, we've seen the Roman and Heyman thing for a while now. I think if Roman wants to go fully face, that has to be done without Heyman. Has to be on his own. This is finally Roman's chance to, you could be a face like they always wanted you to be on your own. You are everywhere you go. People love you, right? CM Punk doesn't need Heyman. He used to need Heyman. I think Heyman could be a really good hype man for Seth Rollins. And really, Rollins can hold his own on the mic. He could definitely hold his own in the ring. And he definitely has, these crazy looks he goes with that I like. He's got a theme song I like. I don't think Rollins' character is a complete disaster, but I think Heyman can help him the most out of the three. Punk and Roman are made men. Totally made men.
Do you think this is the end of the way Seth comes out and dresses? Do you think he's going to dress more,
No. He's going to dress crazier. I like the outfits.
For some reason, I still feel like what I said is going to come to a wishing tomorrow about Seth coming out and screwing over Cody and him and Paul joining the new corporation. The new corporation is going to be Cena, Rock, Heyman, and Seth.
We'll see. So you want to take us away with any final thoughts on night one? Any big takeaways?
I mean, there's really no big takeaways. I mean, per se.
Other than the Rollins heel turn and the company going with Tiffany Stratton over Charlotte.
That's really the only thing we really learned.
What results tonight do you think might make you a little sketchy about night two? Like, for example, we just saw a heel winning the main event. We saw heels and faces split. Does that strengthen the idea that maybe Cody wins night two?
Yeah, but this is the thing. Cody has got every offense on Cena. Cena hasn't even been able to touch him.
Yeah, that feels really suspect. We know the last one that gets, usually the last guy that gets the word in.
Cena hasn't got no offense on him. Cody always, reversals it and gets him.
It's like they're protecting Cody ahead of his loss.
Yes.
And if Cody loses, it would probably be smart to keep him off TV for a little bit.
I would keep off TV for a couple weeks.
At least through Backlash, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I would too. Give him a break. Give him a vacation. Let him come back fresh and recharged.
But, so from this, though... Okay, from looking at this, the way that tonight ended, with Heyman joining Seth, does this make anything that maybe at Backlash we get some sort of tag match with maybe Punk and Roman against Seth and somebody?
Punk and Roman together could happen.
But who's that? That other guy. That's the thing. So maybe what I said, maybe they do join Cena and Rock, and then it's Cena and Seth against Punk and Roman.
I still think. I know Randy Orton has a mystery opponent tomorrow. They already said so, but
Yes, and I've already. We'll we'll go over that.
Yeah, whatever happens tomorrow, we'll go over it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I still like the idea of Orton facing Cena for the belt at Backlash. You know, Orton tried to help Cody and it didn't work. Maybe something like that. Or maybe Orton doesn't even get involved in the main event. Maybe Orton somehow convinces Cena to defend that belt right at Backlash, even though he said he's going to take it home. We'll have to see how it plays out. So, okay,
I mean, I don't know. It's just like, you know what? I mean, it's almost like, so what? So at the pay-per-view, what do we get? Go ahead and just, like, do what you said? Maybe just get Jay against Seth, and then Seth already wins the title. Jay only keeps it for 3 weeks?
No, I don't think Jay. I think Jay would face him at SummerSlam.
I mean, it's just like, well, do you think Gunther gets his rematch against Jay?
No, because then that would involve Jay having to beat Gunther again, and I don't think anybody wants to see that happen. So,
I don't know.
Gunther might have to get wrote off TV also.
He goes to AEW, by God.
Well, I think that about puts a bow on night one. You guys, we'll be back for night two tomorrow. Hopefully a better show than night one was. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Scooter, thanks for being on the call.
Yeah, of course.
I'll see y'all later. See you tomorrow.
All right, peace.
Peace.